Hi everyone, Pastor Joe. For our devotion for this week, we have Matthew 11, verses 13 to 14. Again, this whole section is a bit cryptic, but check this out. For all the prophets and the law, everything written to this point, everything in the Old Testament, because they don't have the New Testament yet, everything that's been written prophesies until John. And if you're willing to accept it, he is the Elijah who is to come. Wow, okay. So Jesus stands up and says, listen, everything that Moses wrote about, that Abraham talked about, everything that's in the law, everything that's in the prophets, all of that leads to John. Now, why? Why are we stopping at John? Because in Malachi 4, verse 5, it says, and this is literally like the last two verses of the Old Testament, then there's going to be a 400-year gap where God is silent, and nothing will be said until we hear the angels speak to Mary about Jesus being in her womb, and that's when we restart the clock. There's 400 silent years. But what that verse says in Malachi is this: before the Lord comes, know this, Elijah will come. The forerunner will come, the pointer. John will come to point to Jesus. Now, so what's the deal? Elijah reincarnated? No. But here's what I will tell you about John the Baptist. John the Baptist lived in the exact area, if not the exact cave that Elijah lived in on the east side of the Jordan River, right across from the caves of Qumran, right out in the desert. The miracles that John does, in fact, the baptism that John does when he baptizes Jesus and where he's out baptizing everybody in the Jordan, is the exact spot where Elijah took his cloak and hit the Jordan River and it opened up. So it's not a stretch. They're in the same area, living in the same place, preaching the same message, and Jesus said everything in the past looks to John. John is the pointer, and his job is to point to me. And then he says in the next verse, he who has ears to hear, let him hear. So if you're paying attention to the Word of God, you know that everything leads to John, and John points to Jesus. You give that some thought.